I don't know why I bought this. It's basically just an expensive paperweight at this point. Now I may then eat my own words and start using it. Who knows? Hello my creative peeps, and welcome back to my channel for another video. I hope you're doing well today. I'm so excited to be here sharing with you all of the journals and planners that I'm currently using. I say using because some of these I only use on very rare occasion, but they are still in the active rotation, so I'm going to count them in this video. This is going to be a very long show and tell style video, as they always are, so grab your journal, grab a cup of whatever beverage you enjoy, and let's get into it. I thought it would be fun to go in the order of most frequently used to least frequently used, just to give you guys a better idea of kind of what my actual journal and planning system looks like. I'll try to leave timestamps and chapters below, so in case you're really interested in certain journals, you can skip around and just kind of watch that piece. But I'm going to go ahead and start with my recently most frequently used journal, which is this bad boy right here. There's not much to show you in terms of the insides, but this is my journal that I use several times a week, if not every day. And this is my written journal. This is part of my morning routine, is usually when I'm using this. And I have actually been using this since January, which is pretty cool. What this is, again, I won't be showing you a ton of it because it's mostly writing. I went ahead and collaged all over the cover of this journal, which was so much fun. After doing this, I got a lot of requests to show you how. So this collaging covers is one of the lessons in my creative journaling class, which we're still doing over on Patreon. You can join anytime if you want to kind of catch that. Really fun. Really love this collage. I have it housed in a Traveler's notebook by the Travelers Company. So the OG's in a black color. I got this secondhand from someone, and I really love it. I'm so happy to finally have the black one. So like I said, this is my written journal. On the side here, I had been tabbing the months. I didn't tab August, and I haven't tabbed September yet, but I can always go back and do that. I kind of skip a page so that I have like a title page where I can put these. This is actually just like super shiny washi tape, which I really enjoy. I'll try to leave as many things linked below as I can, so if I mentioned it, I'll try to leave a link for you guys to check out if you'd like. But definitely, probably my favorite tape of the year for sure. On the inside here, I just kind of have a little bit of inspiration going on, a couple tea tags, some stickers and more collage bits, a little like quote type of thing, a scan of a card, another little meme, which I really enjoyed. And then in the front, I did like a dedication to the book. A little EFT tapping cheat sheet. And then I was going to do something about my word of the year here. I have it in other places, but I never like wrote down. But this was like kind of a card that went with my word of the year and then my card of the year. And then the rest of it is all just words with very minimal journaling on there, and I just really enjoy journaling in it. In the back here, I have a year ahead spread, which I, to be honest, totally forgot about. I don't even think I looked at my cards for the past 4 months or so, 5 months. So it'd be really interesting to go back and look at that now. So like I said, this is part of my morning routine. I don't do like morning pages or anything. I've incorporated it into kind of a practice of my own. So sometimes I'll literally just write the date in like one sentence. I'll do a little bit of gratitude type reflection journaling. Sometimes I'm journaling about a card reading I did. It all really depends. Sometimes I'm just talking myself through something. Yeah, that's kind of my personal journal. All things go in here, but it's mostly writing. Oh, I forgot to tell you what the actual journal was. I should probably do that, huh? I cut this down. This This was a A5 by Taroko Design, so it's got Tomoe River paper in it, and as you can tell from the jankiness, it was A5, but I just cut it down myself, and it doesn't bother me that it's janky. It is what it is. So I just really like the thick, chunky books, but I love the standard size. It's actually a little bit wider than standard size, but I always end up cutting down myself because I can't find them. So along with that, when I'm in this journal, I typically will use one of my fountain pens. I've got back into these earlier this year, which I'm really happy about. Apparently I have a regular gel pen in there in case I need it. As you can tell from the bag, I use TWSBIs pretty much exclusively. I really enjoy having the option of having a bunch of different ink colors to choose from. However, I'm lazy and inconsistent, so I don't use these all the time, and I like the TWSBI the most because, well, 1, the TWSBI Eco is super affordable, 2, they come in great colors, but 3, most importantly, you can leave ink in these things forever and not touch it, and it does not dry out. I've never had that happen to any other fountain pen that I've owned, especially the cartridge ones, but the way these, like, I don't know if it's because of the way the ink is housed in there, it's drawn up through the tip and then sits in this reservoir with this really secure thing, but honestly, like, I could not use this for 6 months or more. Pull it out of the bag, scribble with it a little bit, and it writes like an absolute dream. So TWSBI Ecos, love those. I usually buy like little sample inks and put them in there. I definitely need to re-up on some of my favorites and get some new ones to try, but those are typically what I use with that. Where was this? I think this was the one I had with it. And I'll just kind of choose a color depending on what my mood is. No big deal. So that is my personal journal. She gets the most love. Next on the list is my planner. And I can hear you're all going, wow. This is a 8.5 by 11, so letter size ring planner. You may have remembered before I left on my sabbatical, I was using my Creatively Free to Be Me planner, and I had it in my discs, and I've been using that. And one of the projects I intended to work on while I was away was my seasonal goal planner, which at this point has turned into so much more than just a seasonal planner. Like, it's huge. It's gonna have to be a masterclass and like a bunch of other things, but I am working on that and it is coming. But this is kind of the hodgepodge of a planner that came out of me working on that project. You'll also see on the cover here I have changed my word of the year and made a new vision board for myself. I'm happy to talk all about my opinions on changing your word of the year, kind of refreshing it up, redoing vision boards before like the end of the year, if that's something you're interested in, because I personally find that one word for 12 months with one vision board is a little limiting. So if that's something you're interested in hearing me speak more about, I'd love to go into that with you, but I won't go too much in depth into my vision board, but that's kind of what that front is. And again, I went over how I do these types of collages inside of my collage lesson in the creative journaling class, which is over on Patreon. So I'll leave that linked below if you want to check that out. But I have my disc here. The back is a ARC binder cover. These came out way before Happy Planner was a thing, and I had one in college that I actually used this size of a planner in college for a couple of years. So I just didn't use the front cover because I wanted to use this, but I wanted to use the back because it's like this fake leather cover and I really enjoy the feel of it, and it just gives it a lot of structure. So that's that. I have a mishmash of all kinds of different planner concept pages that I'm working on, pieces of the planner that no longer exist that I've taken away. This is very much like an experiment and a work in progress. So as I go through this and show you as much as I can, please do not expect that whatever you see is absolutely going to be in whatever planner that I bring out. This is all kind of like testing behind the scenes type of stuff. So just please keep that in mind as we go forward. So I just have a bunch of sticky notes stuck here. This was the original cover page that I was working on for the planner and some other things. I have some blank note pages. And then I come to my first divider. And these are dividers that I kind of made myself in Canva. They're a little bit of a work in progress, but that's what that is. And then we go into my monthly, weekly planning section, which is mostly what I'm going to show you. But basically this is what it looks like. I have my monthly calendar overview. I'm loving having this nice big canvas style to work on. That's been really, really nice. I have a couple of monthly worksheets in here that have to do with the class I'm taking from Natalia Benson. And then I was working on a monthly reflection section, just kind of my usual. I have notes and goals, monthly task lists, some reminders, and things I'm waiting on in the mail. I was also, I forgot about this. I was writing out what my word meant to me that month. I did that all year. I don't know how I forgot about that within a month of not doing it, but I need to get back to that now that I've changed my word. This was a layout that I was working on as I went through my sabbatical started here. I was kind of dodgy on and off with my planner during my sabbatical. Sometimes I was super into it and sometimes not so much. I played around a lot with different kind of layouts and things. This is what August looked like. Playing with this sidebar here and different prompts for that. August task list, things I was waiting on. Some of my seasonal planning page ideas that I'm working on. I have a card reading page where I can record that. This is another kind of weekly dashboard layout that I was playing with the card reading notes on the back. So I was doing a quote or some kind of pep talk here, my weekly plan here, and then 3 to-do lists. Then I started working on this one and was playing with having 5 different task lists broken down by different areas of my life, which that was too much. We did not do that. This is September, so my monthly calendar, monthly dashboard, still haven't quite finished filling that out. Another one of those seasonal planning pages that I'm working on, worksheets for my class that I'm taking. And then this is last week. So again, playing with this weekly dashboard, just in a little bit of a different format with bigger boxes and smaller to-do lists. And then this is this week. So again, I'm still playing around with the weekly things. There's a lot more to the planner, but like I said, this is a mishmash of all my test pages. But it's been really fun to play around with different things and work on that. So that's kind of all I have in here. I do have some pre-planning, so I have more monthly pages with kind of my schedule for the rest of the year written out. In the second section, I have a wish list and some other worksheets that I'm working on for the final planner. Next, I kind of have my projects. So these are big projects I have going on. Obviously, I'm working on my wedding, so I'm playing around with doing project organizer pages. I really like this one so far, so that's been fun to kind of work on. Got a little vision board for what I want my reception to look like, just different things that I need to work on in terms of all the things, getting stuff together. And then I just have other things that I'm working on, long-term tracker, notes for the page, so I'm not going to get too much into that. Next, I have my section for that membership style class that I'm taking with Natalia that I keep talking about, but I have a whole section on that with worksheets from the course and different notes and things, so I won't show you that since it's not really mine to show you. Next section is all about rebranding, things I'm bringing to you soon, different visions for the business, etc., etc. So that's kind of there. And then in the back, again, I won't show you too much, but I have my financial section. So I made my own printables again for that. I've started a specific money management system through the MWMM class. So I made my own worksheets to kind of keep up with that, and that's what these are. Again, just extra notes in the back. I have notes from past lessons of the class over on Patreon that I did, just like things that I might need to reference. I have a pocket. This was my cleaning schedule for the rental place that I work for in the summer, on top of my regular clients. So that lived in there for reference. I could probably take it out now, but yeah. That is my planner that I'm currently working on. Again, like I said, big work in progress, moving things around, experimenting with different sheets. I think I'm getting pretty close to like the finished conceptualization of my seasonal goal planner, which I'm very excited about. I don't know if it's an official title, but that's what I've been kind of talking to you guys about. So I wanted to let you know about that. Next, we have, of course, my creative journal. I'm not going to flip too much through this because I did just do a flip through of this in my last video. I'll leave it linked in a card for you, and you can skip to kind of where that starts if you'd like to see that, but I don't think I've really done anything since I showed that to you. So I'll just flip through here really quick just to kind of give you an idea, but if you want like a page by page explanation of what's in the journal, definitely go check out that video. But yeah, I'm excited to continue to work in this. I need to get back into the habit of doing it. I've literally just been working on my planner and in my written journal for like this whole time, so I'm excited to get back into the habit of doing that, but I have not really worked in it much, but definitely look forward to doing so in our live journal party over on Patreon later this month. So I will be getting into this bad boy. Next, we have my spiritual handbook. Now, some people would call this a grimoire, some people would call it a book of shadows, some people would call it God knows what. To me, it's just like my esoteric journal. It's kind of a reference book and a self-exploration book of sorts. I'm not going to share the whole thing with you. I can do a whole separate flip through of this if you're interested, but I thought I would share it with you, especially since a lot of you were interested in what I did with the Mike Deacon journal that I got literally like probably 5 years ago. So if you're an OG and you saw that video of me unboxing this journal, this is what I finally did with it. So I just have some things up here in the pocket. I think this is like a wish list and some projects that I'm working on. Different little bookmarks and things. A tea tag. I'm pretty obsessed with tea tags, in case you couldn't tell. A card and a little quote. Picture of me when I was a kid. A little dedicated kind of page to myself. And then I have an index. And basically what I keep in this book is information that I want to go back to. At first I started putting general like reference information into this on like different topics as I was learning about them, but I stopped doing that and I made it pretty personal to myself. So like I'll have my natal chart in here, and then I am going through and just putting in different things that I'm learning about astrology. That's been like a very slow learning process for me. I have kind of like one of my values, which is to always be learning, and a photo of some of my relatives, which to me were great learners. So there's that. Going to be more astrology notes. I did some fun like shimmer spray on here. I tuck in different like things. This was something that came in a subscription box, but I love this radiate your light thing, and I like to take it out and kind of sit it on my desk for a little bit. As like decoration, and then put them back in here, so that's fun. Elements, these are some flowers that I press, so just things like that. I have notes on the elements. I have notes on, like I said, astrology. There are, what else is in here? Just things for decoration. I have a little thing on sigils because I made sigils. I have my favorite sugar scrub recipe that I make all the time. Ponderings on the wheel of the year. Some different like goddess and god things that I was looking up. Little thing on the moon phase. More astrology notes that I took somewhere else and tucked in here. These are really fun. These are like kind of, you look at it to meditate while music is on type of things. So those were fun to put together. Of crystal information, stuff on tarot, my deck interview questions, different spreads and interviews for different decks. And then my back pocket is just full of, again, a bunch of different stuff. So this isn't a journal, like I said, that I work in all the time, but it is one that's very special to me, and I try my best to really kind of curate the things that I put in here. I'm not like whipping this open and taking notes. It's definitely more of like a put together reference type of book. I don't put a ton of pressure on myself to like work in it and fill it or anything, but it is a really fun one, and I'm excited to continue to use that. So if you'd like to see more of that, let me know. More of these topics will definitely be kind of things that we're touching upon as we continue into the new topics. So if that is something you're interested in seeing, I'm happy to share that more in depth with you. Next, we have my Overflow journal, and then we will get to my chat about the 5-year, which I kind of teased you with in the beginning. So hold on to your pants. This is my Overflow journal, and I have not used this in a while. It's kind of, again, one of those just, I'll pick it up whenever I want to work in it, and it's like not a big deal. This, funny enough, though, is kind of like the opposite of this guide. This one's very like intentional, very specific things go in here. I'm going to look back at it and reference it, and it's very like, it's a sacred book. This is just a book for fun. Nothing in here really means anything. While I do, of course, like them, I'm using things that I like and, you know, things that fit my personality. There's no real information in here. There's no info. There's no memories per se that aren't documented anywhere else. It's just something that I can glue stuff in that's fun to look at. It's an altered book, and the reason I call it my Overflow journal is because it's just extra crap, really. It's just extra stuff that, like, I don't need it. It doesn't really serve a purpose, but I wanted to save it and put it somewhere. As James Luke Burke said, it's not hoarding if it ends up in a journal, right? So there's things like these crayon packages in here, old return address labels that, for an address I don't have anymore, cards that came in packaging. This is an altered book, an altered Egyptian book. This is packaging from the bark box that I used to get for Shadow, just because I liked it. Random swatches. So it's literally just like extra stuff that doesn't have a home anywhere else that I thought would be fun to put in a journal. But, you know, if worse comes to worse and, you know, my house is on fire, I'm not grabbing this journal. It's no great loss that, like, it's gone, right? It's just for fun. It's no pressure. It doesn't have to look pretty. I generally will like cover things up over and over again in these journals if it turns out that I don't like them. This is a pretty like new-ish one, so there's not like a ton in here that I've built layers upon layers on top of, but yeah, this is my Overflow journal. I use it whenever. I put whatever in it. It's nothing like super special. It's just kind of fun. That's my altered book Overflow journal, and I do have other videos about my Overflow journal. It's one that you guys tend to really enjoy every time I show it, so I will try to leave that playlist linked for you in case you want to check that out. Whew, I need a sip of water. Last but not least, we have my 5-year journal, although at this point it's kind of leased. I don't know why I bought this, you guys. It's one of those things where like you watch other people do it and they look so pretty and you're like, oh yeah, I want that. I want to flick through and see what I did last year. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, I don't. It's basically just an expensive paperweight at this point. I guess I'm just not like a super nostalgic person. Like, the idea sounds great of like, oh yeah, this time last year I did this, but like, I don't know. Time is weird, and a lot of the times I don't want to look back on the things that I was doing because I've come so far, and I don't know. And of course, as I'm saying that, I'm like looking through this and I'm like, oh, actually that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that happened like so long ago, and so on and so forth. So now I may put my own foot in my mouth and eat my own words and start using it. Who knows? I just have a really hard time using this journal. I have a hard time finding my purpose with it because I just am not that type of person who wants to look back on every little thing that I did. I think that there are some things that are fun to look back on, like, oh yeah, I remember when we watched that pirate documentary. That was fun. We watched Supernatural. Don't care that I had a lazy day that day. Don't care that I had a chore day that day. Homemade sushi bowls. Yeah, those are good. That could be a fun dinner idea. What else we got? Song lyrics. I do enjoy that. Really rough day. Don't want to hear about it. Did 6 card readings. That's interesting. Olive Garden snow hikes. I remember that day. So that was fun to remember. So I think, I don't know, maybe I should just put down the fun things. And then if we didn't do anything that I'll really want to look back on that day, then I'll do something like this where I do song lyrics, because I do enjoy looking back on that. So I don't know. Do you guys keep a 5-year journal? Do you even care to look back on it? I feel like I really enjoy looking back on like the stickers that I really liked, or like this was really fun to look back on. That was when I was researching that. This was fun. This was like my journal purge that I did that day. Oh, I did it on 7/7. That's interesting. We had a fun day this day. So I don't know. I don't know if it's an expensive paperweight. I don't know if I want to continue with it. I don't know if I will. Now that I look through it, I kind of want to, but I feel also very restricted by it because I know that I can't put a ton of pictures in, and pictures are my favorite thing to put into my journals. That's basically like my whole journal. Of the ones that I look back on, that's kind of all it is. So when I was trying to keep up with it and I was journaling a lot, it felt very repetitive. So I don't really want to be putting, you know, stuff in 2 spots. There's just, I'm not sure how this fits into my system. You know, it's good until 2026. So, you know, never say never. I could come back to my next video and be like, I've worked in my 5-year journal every day since I told you that I wouldn't use it anymore. Because that's the kind of rebel person that I am. But I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. If you have one, what your kind of relationship is with it, whether you like it or not, etc., etc. I know there are a million things I could do with it, so I don't really need ideas for that per se. I just want to hear your thoughts. And that, my friends, is the conclusion of my journal updates video. These are all of the journals that I'm currently using as of right now in September 2022. I hope that you enjoyed this long chatty video, that you found it inspiring, that you got some little nuggets to take away for yourself. If you did kind of get sparked by anything and are going to try something, please let me know in the comments below. I really enjoy hearing kind of what you guys got out of it. It's never what I expect that you got out of it, so it's really helpful for me to hear those things, and it's fun to go through, you know, the comments and see the different things. I'm sure your fellow creative peeps would appreciate it as well, and you may even spark something in them. So all about sharing the inspiration over here. If you couldn't tell, I had a little dance to go with that, but it's neither here nor there. All right, I'm gonna go, guys. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I know it's valuable. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the week, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.